So, um, I just want to, like, I be growing up, like, a lot of powerful witches, warlocks, and see, what people don't know about me, I don't identify as a witch or warlock. I identify as a master manifester, which we use all tools necessary to manifest whatever we want. And these people realize that I have like master manifestation abilities that outdo theirs. So they gang up on me. This particular one is a music producer, and he loves to like try to play mind games with me. One is an ex president. That's a warlock. Y'all will be surprised. One is an ex president. And his so called wife is the same gender as him, but his wife plays a woman, or the part of a woman. Um, there's a lot of y'all celebrities that are undercover witches and warlocks. You'll be surprised, and a lot of these people have seen Satan. They sit with Satan. They tell you like we sit at the same table with him. They're not lying. They do sit at the table with Satan. Satan does roam the earth. um, and he can shapeshift, meaning he can possess people bodies as well. So these are the people that I go up against. This is how I know who I am. They don't want to awaken me to who I am, because I like around, I say about 25, 26 is when I started dreaming about my twin flame. But around I say 33 is when I really knew who I was a soul of. And so a lot of times powerful souls or people who have high divinity, I can put it that way, have to go up against these witches and warlocks, because they see the power, they see the light. That a lot of times they know who you are before you know who you are. On a spiritual level, on a divinity level, they know who you are because they can see the light. They like they stalk you, like they digital stalk you, they game stalk you. Before it was digital stalking, they would watch the stars come, because a lot of times they'll say they'll see the light. You know how they say in the Bible when Jesus they saw a bright light. Those are true. Y'all be thinking a lot of stuff is myth, but a lot of it be true. So I go up against a lot of these people, witches and warlocks, who are, I'm not talking about, like my ex is a warlock. Yes, I know his mama is a Christian witch. Like I know the people, like I can see them through my third eye. I know the people who I'm coming up against. Like I can name their names. A lot of y'all celebrities that attended that did those Diddy parties, that's not that hasn't been named. Like I know who they are. That's why they come up against me. That's why when y'all be like, oh my god, y'all be falling over them, I be like, if y'all only knew what they was doing. Some of them are into I think it's called zoology, not or what made me lie, zoophilia. I think it's called zoophilia, where they sleep with animals, and they do. I'm not talking about something that somebody told me. I saw the Lord let me see through my third eye. Some of these people, they're into stuff like that. They're into weird types of shit. Y'all would be surprised of how people become famous. A lot of times they have to go through different humiliation rituals and different things like that, and that turns them on to have these fetishes and have these different how can I say, habits that are not, that they're basically they're perverted after they go through whatever ritual, like, you know, it could alter their mind into doing anything, like to having an alter ego, to having a lot of people think that celebrities are just possessed by demons, but they, if their souls on this earth, or if they call back a soul to this earth, they can have that soul in their body as well. That's why they can perform well, rap well, have stamina, depending on how the ritual was done. And we know only like basic stuff. We don't even know all of the stuff. Like, I see this stuff in real time. That's why they come against me a lot. That's why they come against my third eye a lot, because I can see them is in real time. Like, I can see them like I am a recorder, like I am a camera, like I can see them. I can see them in my dreams. I can see them with my third eye. I can see them. And a lot of times they attack me because they know I have that gift that I can see them in real time with my third eye. I'm a seer. So I get attacked by a lot of these witches and warlocks, especially when it comes down to my speech, because they don't want me talking to you. And then it's crazy because, well, I won't say crazy, it's ironic, because growing up I had a real bad speech problem. I had a lazy tongue. I had to learn to, you know, position my mouth. It's because I used to just talk like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I didn't lift my tongue, was lazy, and then my mouth, I would just use it. You know how some people could just talk and not, like, you see how I move my mouth and I have like facial expressions, like they do it with no expression. That's how I used to talk. So now they try to use my speech problem. Like, I did this last video. I don't think you guys can tell because you don't know me like that. But I kept saying I'm conservative, and I want to say I was reserved, but I couldn't access that part of my brain to say that type of word, because it was coming against me in that particular way. Instead of saying I was conservative, I want to say I was reserved, but I can only go to, because it was attacking me in a certain type of way. And today I broke free of that. Like, I broke free of the mind manipulation. Like, it, like, how it affects other people. Like, other people, it affects them like in a major way. Their warfare is minute to me. It affects me in a like a minimum way. Let me say minimum. In a minimum way, it affects me in a very minimum way. Like, if you don't know me, you can't tell. You have to really be around me. Like, okay, something is going wrong. What's up? You know. So. And when I kept saying in the other video, I kept saying I'm conservative because I was looking for the word reserve, and I couldn't access that word because it was using my past speech problem to come against me, and I couldn't access that part of my brain. And since I've mastered it, I could say conservative, which is kind of similar to reserve, but not quite the word I was looking for. So a lot of times I go through warfare, and most people don't even know it. A lot of times people be under psychic mind control and manipulation to come against me. That's why a lot of times people like, oh, they done a lot of things against you and you ain't do nothing, because I understood that particular person was under mind manipulation. And that's when I would turn the other cheek. A lot of times I turn the other cheek because I understand that they were under mind manipulation to do what they did. But I also have the Holy Spirit also quick to me to understand, like, they have to overcome that. So they need if they're doing that now, it's not time to turn the other cheek anymore. It's a time to, return back to sender, or bring judgment on that person, because we're divine beings. I'm a divine being. I can bring judgment very quickly, and I don't talk about bringing judgment because that's the least amount of tool. Because I'm not an ego person. Like, oh, I got these power, I can do this. I'm not that person. I'm the type of person I want people to be themselves, but at the same time, like, if I ain't done nothing to you, then if I have to bring divine judgment upon you because you are just being evil for no reason, then I will. I have the ability to bring divine judgment upon people who do me wrong. That's why I just sit back and be quiet, because I know the power that I carry. I don't have to. I understand and like the fact that my power is silent. Like I'm not like, oh, I can do this. I'm not, oh, I do this. Like I'm not that person. I used to be like back in the past. I I used to be like really talkative and didn't just blurt out truths and didn't care if it hurt your feelings. I'm very mindful of what I say now because I understand true power comes with um a level of what's the word a level of responsibility that most people you use to throw their weight around. To I call it, when people is in their ego, I call it throwing their uterus and their nutsacks around. That's what I call it. Like when people like are in ego, I'm like, you just throwing your uterus around in your nutsack, because like what is it like? What's on what chip you got on your shoulder about me? And a lot of times I realize that I don't try to trigger people, but since the light that I walk in is so powerful and authentic, it is normal to me, but it's not normal to the like, why does she talk like this, like she weird, and then they think I'm slow. But when you're in true authenticity, like you could become, sometimes I be corny and I be like, damn, that was corny as hell, judging my own self. And God said don't judge your authenticity, so I stopped doing that. I stopped judging my authenticity. I stopped saying certain stuff because certain, like, when it comes to authenticity, a lot of stuff of true love sometimes it's a little bit corny. It just is. It's not something that's popular. It's just something that happens. So I'm not trying to become popular. I'm just being. So if you're in the state of being, maybe you'll be a little corny sometimes, maybe, and sometimes I can be so on point until like it just amp it up. Like I can start one thing and just amp it up, and a lot of times it comes from my quirkiness, my wittiness, and me being corny. Me being able to be in that authentic version of me, and then it'll build up. So a lot of times, these people see that and they will come against that light, because once you build up to the level of authenticity, and then you have love and light to go with it, and then you have intelligence, baby, they don't, because you have to understand that I can outwit them, I can out manifest them. I'm more powerful than they are. I know more things than they do, and if I don't know it, I can go find it, or I can just call on my spirit team to know it. You get what I'm saying? So they don't like that. One thing about what I learned in college is that, and in school, period, like I tell my kids, if you know where to go, if you learn how to be a researcher and you know how to go, learn, go find the answer. You don't always have to know everything, but you can go find the answer. Long as you know how to go find the answer, you can always be ahead of the game. That's all. That's what true power is. Long as you can find the answer to something, long as you're a good researcher, that is like that was like 25% of the journey. That is just like 25% of the journey. Because if you're a good researcher, you can find the answers. You can find the answers to almost anything. You just got to be determined enough to do it. Care enough about whatever you're looking for to continue on to research and to find things. Have a passion, a drive for things. I have a passion and a drive and a passion for writing, reading, and math. Those are my 3 favorite things to do. And I'm not talking about, because I spell like all kind of ways. I don't know. My spelling, I'm not talking about like punctuation. When I say reading and writing, I like poetry, like things that rhymes, rhythm, things that brings like soul into it, and mathematical. My mind can be so literal at times and logical until I can compute things at a high level, and that's how I was at my job. That's how I was in school. Every school I went to, I have a 4.0. Just one school, because this lady, this teacher was mad because she gave me a B, and everybody was like, "You did so well, you did so well," and she gave me a B on my paper, and she pissed me off. I made straight A's, and that really bothered me, because I know I did so well. Even people who wasn't in my class was giving me compliments. Even this person that was an ambassador gave me compliments, that was an ambassador of the school, and it was like, "We're watching you," because they used 2 of my ideas. That thumbprint that's on your phone, I got the patent for it. I couldn't get enough investors, but I got the patent for it. How you log into your phone with your thumbprint, Thanks to me. Thanks to Mawad, that is me. I know I'm gonna I take up space for myself now. So, and I don't feel guilty about it. I used to feel guilty about taking up space. I don't. That was my idea. I got the patent for it in my email. I can prove it. It's not like something I'm doing big talking. Like, I really did come up with the idea. Yeah, and I didn't have investors, enough people to invest in it, and I signed a contract that said if I don't use this idea within a certain period of time, that they can take it, and that's what they did. So yeah, thanks to me, that was my bright idea. And once I know in school, the school that I was particularly going to, the marketing school I was going to, they were stealing from me and wouldn't give me, like, they if you're going to use my ideas, the least you can do, okay, this class is going to be free, okay, you know, we're gonna pay for your tuition. None of that was happening. They just wanted to keep stealing from me, because when you turn in your papers to the college, they own your paper. They own your ideas now, so you can't do anything about it. And that's one of the reasons why I dropped out of marketing, because they like marketing, for y'all that don't know, they watch y'all, they trail y'all. It's marketing. It's a lot of it has a lot of great stuff, and it has a lot of unethical things, and the unethical things like really pissed me off and really didn't want me to be but I'm a great marketer, but it really pissed me off what they do to market to us, to people. It really does. It pissed me off. So I dropped out of marketing. I was in business management and marketing, and I dropped out because it really pissed me off. Because it was unethical. It was very unethical. And some of the marketing things are great. So I just think the bad outweighed the good when it came to marketing, and I didn't want to do it no more. So the thumbprint, like I said, thanks to me. That was my bright idea all by myself. Nobody helped me. What else? But yeah, that's why they come against me a lot. I go through a lot of warfare, and I just defeated this energy again. Like, the more they come against me, the more I defeat each level that they like, they'll raise it or they'll do something different, and each time I defeat it each time. And like I said, this particular guy, he loves to control people's mind. He likes to cut off your intuition. He likes to and he's a producer. He's a music producer. He likes to cut off your intuition. He's huge. He's famous. He likes to cut off your intuition. He likes to control your decision making. Those are two things that he's very gifted in. He's gifted in sending demons to you. He's gifted in, like, when you sell your soul, when people sell their soul in the industry, he's gifted in going to send demons and send spirits, or himself, he will go in his spirit form and unalive you. That's how he will astral project. Like that girl, what was her name? That beautiful model girl. She was on Wild 'N Out. She was a sacrifice, and nobody knows that. DC Young Fly, baby mama, she was sacrificed. That girl was sacrificed. I saw it when it happened. I saw it when it happened. I was there in real time, spiritually, when it happened. I was there. And the way they treated her was horrible. What they did to her was horrible. And, like, I cried. Like, people don't talk about. That's how I know a lot of people who claim they're spiritual, they're not all the way spiritual, and it's only to a minimal level, because the amount of things I see spiritually have me cry. I get traumatized, and I have to heal all over again, because you don't see just the good. You don't just hear stuff. You know, like, you see the bad, you see the horrible, you see the most disgusting things people do, because it's in the spiritual realm. Because it's in the spiritual world. It's traumatizing, and I had to heal from after seeing how horrible they did her. I had to go heal. I had to sit my butt down and go heal. And people don't talk about that in the spiritual community. That's not talked about at all. I have not heard nobody talk about how traumatized you get from being a seer, for being God's mouthpiece. You get so traumatized. And nobody talks about it. And you have to heal. That's why I think God made me a healer, because He knew if I seen all these things and I have such a good heart and good spirit, that I was gonna have to heal, because it would destroy you. It will make you go insane if you're not strong enough to deal with that, and not even strong enough. Being strong is one, but then you have to go heal it. You know what I'm saying? You have to go heal it after you've seen stuff like that, because it's horrible. That's why I'm a firm believer. How you treat somebody matters. And that's the one thing that people do and take for granted so often, how they mistreat people. They mistreat people spiritually, physically, emotionally, and mentally. That's why I'm a big advocate on how you treat others freaking matters. But like I said, and Mr. the ex-president, let's get on his ass. He likes to their warfare is so, when it comes to the ex-president and his I'm gonna just call him his bull thing, because it's a woman, it's a man, but it's a woman in our face, but it's a man behind closed doors. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So these people, if you knew who the soul of his wife was, y'all would be freaking out. Y'all would be like, they would be banned forever. They would be in Alcatraz. I'm telling you, you would lock them up, and you would put them on an island so far away from other people until you be like, oh my God, it's so much stuff that I see that y'all couldn't fathom in real time, because I had to build myself up to even fathom that people are this evil, do these different things. And it's not just essaying, it's more horrific things that happen than that. It's more, especially spiritually, it's more horrific things that happens than just that. Okay? So, like I said, these people are these witches and warlocks, and most of the time when people are witches and warlocks, they're not for the greater good, they're for the greater evil. They just are. And I just defeated him again. This music producer, he tries to come on and live me. He comes into my house and astral project. Like I deal with all types of warfare. And one thing about it, I know that I'm very unique, because nobody never talks about this stuff. You see it in movies, but real life experiences. Like, I have an Instagram page, Diamond Butterfly 8848, and everything that I put on there, I have personally experienced it in real time, in real life, spiritually and physically. I have experienced that SA and Demon, they tried to send to me, and my spirit team pulled me up out of that real quick. I experienced all those things. I only talk about what I really experienced, unless the Holy Spirit tell me to talk about it. I tell you, this is via the Holy Spirit. If I experience it, I'm going to talk about it in real time and give real input, because I know, because I experienced it. And so a lot of those things that you see me when I'm talking about demons and spirit, I seen them in real time. I dealt with them in real time. Or I was a fly on the wall and I saw what they did to another person. So I had that first-hand experience in real time. So when people say I'm fake, or they say, like, the Holy Spirit is telling me to talk about how they said that I was a prostitute. I have never once prostituted myself, sold my body. And if people say that I did, they're lying, or they're getting me confused with my twin sister. That's the only two things that can happen, because I have never prostituted myself. I don't believe in it. My grandma on my mom's side, well, my mom's dad's side, or whatever, however you want to put it, the person that she grew up with, because that story is so much going on with that story. But the person that she grew up with, knowing as her dad, his wife, oh, you're pretty, you should go sell yourself, da, 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 da. And I was very much influenced to do those things. Well, I won't say influenced, I was advised to do those things. But I'm looking at her, I don't do that. I say, you do that, that's nasty. And even my own kin, somebody that is old enough to be my father. Let me put it like that. Yeah, she used to be bad back in her day. Everybody used to buy that. And I just, like, this is why my people don't really like me, because they say you can't do nothing around her. She gonna tell it. Yeah, if you came to me, you try to sleep with me or try to do it. Yes, loud and clear. I was that type of. Look, they tried to do that. Yeah, and my mom was like, don't ever be afraid to tell the truth. And they didn't like that. I told the truth. They didn't like that. I knew right from wrong at an early age, and you can't do certain things to me. I'm going to tell my mama you're nasty. Like, no, it's not happening. And they don't, my family, that's why they don't mess with me. I don't mess with them, because they do a lot of unethical things, and people think because I am like righteous, or however you want to put it, upright, that, you know what I mean, that I don't come from that. I come from a very wicked. My bloodline is blessed at the same time. My spiritual bloodline is blessed at the same time. But I come through a lot of family that have incest, that have different things going on in their family, and they try to put that off on me and my kids just because my family was into that. And it's hard to disconnect from that type of stuff. It's very hard to disconnect from it. And I was always the one. People would tell you I was always the one. If they don't tell you the truth, they say, "Oh no, they lie." Because, like, it used to make me so sick. Like, this lady bent over in front of my sister and told, she had no draws. She told my sister to kiss her ass. Girl, I told my sister I couldn't be her because my foot would have been right up her tailbone. Because just, I don't care if you're elderly, you know better. That's the more reason you know better. And then you ain't gotta know. And then there's the same lady that was in church with another woman eating on each other. Yeah, 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 yeah. So you know better. You know what I mean? And then she want to talk to me about my grandfather's private area. And I'm like, don't do that. You married that man, you had kids with that man, don't do that. Like, I don't like people like that. I can see if you venting, but I'm his grandchild. Like that's just something you don't do. You know what I mean? You just don't come to me with that BS. I was always that family member. You don't bring that to me. And I'm gonna tell you in front of your mama, your daddy, your sister, from in front of God, in front of the church. I don't care who you are. I'm gonna tell you the truth, regardless of what. Because people, I learned, if you don't stand for truth from the get-go, if you don't stand on business from the get-go, people will run over you. People would, and I never played about, because she did a lot of stuff to me after my mom died, to me, my brother, and my sister, and I never played with that lady. No. I don't want to disclose too much of their business, because that's not what this is about. But yeah, my family, that's just one on one side. Both sides is crazy like that, like both. And people think, because they think I have it easy because I have all these divinity. No, I didn't even know who I was until, like, I started to wake up when I was like 25, 26. Like I said, when I knew who I was the soul of, I was like 33 when I really knew who I was the soul of. I'm like, what? I think it was like around 33. I could be off. But it was later on in life, and people don't understand, like, it's not as easy as you think. Because if you like that, like my mama, this lady that named us was a spiritualist, and I remember her. I can remember things when I was a baby. I remember her telling me, I was like maybe 3-4 years old. She told me, where there is great light, there is great darkness. Because when you have great light, the darkness is always going to be attracted to the light. That's by nature. That's why we have shadows. Sometimes you know, if you turn on a light in a certain part of the room and it's not bright enough, there's a lot of shadow areas. That's like when you go in your closet and you open a door, and if it's not a light in your closet and it's just a light in the one part of the room, the closet is going to have a shadow. It's just the way things are. And I learned that the hard way. I didn't know exactly what she meant, but the more I got older, the more I started to experience life, I understood that if you're going to be the light, there's consequences with both. I'd rather have the good consequences than the bad consequences. So if I be good to you It's like somebody being good to the devil. Like if you be good to somebody, then you have to pay for that good. That good that you did, depending on who you help. So a lot of times, that's why you need discernment. They try the spirit by the spirit. I went through a lot of things to get my discernment. I didn't have it; just didn't naturally come to me because I'm a divine being. I had to go through things to get that discernment, to get that gift, to activate it. It was always there, but to learn that it was to activate it, I had to go through things. And so when you are a divine being, when you are a divine being and you are in a benevolent way and not a malicious divine being, baby, you're gonna attract the malicious, the shadow people to you. Even your shadow side you have to deal with. And then while I learn, people like you don't have to deal with other people's mess. Yes, you do, because people will throw magic at you, people will throw voodoo at you, and you have to protect yourself. You have to protect yourself. People will throw black magic. I call it negative energetic work. Anything that's not in it for my greater good or for my best interest is negative energetic work. That means you want negative things to happen to me. You want me to live a negative lifestyle, be in a negative mindset. It's just negative. So I just call it negative energetic work, because a lot of people like voodoo is a religion. We get it, but it's all, no matter what you do, it's all in the intention in which you do it, whether it's for my good or whether it's for my bad. Most of the time when people throw magic, it's for your bad. Period. That's just what it is. And so, y'all, I leveled up again, and I beat him at his own game again, and he's sitting over there mad again. Because what he do, because I have so many spiritual gifts that I can tap into. He is a music producer, so he like to tap into my creative energy to give. Like I say, if an artist just came out and they sold, he would draw energy from me, for my creativity, to give to that person, so that that person can be seen in my glory. And that's how energy transfer, that's how destiny transfer, no matter how small or big. It's the same thing. They're taking a piece of your grace to give to someone else to be seen in your light. And that's why I go through all the time. I'm constantly like, oh, why you haven't made it yet? Because I'm constantly having to deal with people like this. It's not like, most of y'all have one or two, maybe three enemies. No, it's a whole. I got a coven over here, a coven over there. I got a warlock over here. I got an ex, a narcissist that's family that deal in voodoo. That I got it's just so much. It's so much, and I'm okay with it because I'm strong enough. I'm still here. I'm still successful. The way, and I don't. People think like I just want to be famous. No, like my spirit team, like you're supposed to. Like when I first awakened, like I said, I was high on my kitchen floor, high as a kite on my kitchen floor. And that's when my spirit guys started talking to me like, you're supposed to be famous. I have so many phenomena that happen to me throughout the course of my life. And so I could tell you a story every hour on the hour about phenomena that happen to me. That's how I know I'm a divine being. Like, I have so many things. If I was to sit down and just go through all of them, I could write a whole book, maybe two. Yeah. That's how much phenomenon has happened to me. And y'all be like, think I'm batshit crazy, but other people who are spiritualists know I'm not. They know, like, dang, they know I'm not. So that's it, y'all. I just wanted to share that I came up with a little thumbprint on the phone, y'all. I'm the reason that happened, and that I defeated the music warlock with his mind games again. I defeated him again, and yeah, he on his ass.